Hey, welcome back to Duckman Cycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. After I started putting up some links for these glasses that I'm wearing here, I checked out my sales status on them and I made a whole $1.50 the next morning. Woohoo! Thank you guys for your quarters. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to still get these glasses, down below in the video description, there'll be a link to them, and you can pick up a set for yourself. They're about 15 bucks. They're kind of cool, kind of stylish. They're big though, I warn you, they're really big. So, if you have a head like an inflated basketball with about 200 PSI in it, like I do, they probably look good on you, and these seem to work out for me. I actually got a lot of compliments on them. Everybody thinks they're pretty cool. Click that link down below, go ahead and get yourself a set. We're back today and we're taking a little trip over to Mary's bus farm. That's right, a friend of mine named Mary has a bunch of buses in her yard, and you've probably seen one of the older videos from several years ago. She's begun pulling those things apart and parting them out wherever possible. While she hasn't scrapped anything yet, she's giving me the opportunity to go dig through some stuff and see what it is that I can use or what I might need for one of my projects. Currently I'm driving a 350Z. This car stinks. It smells really bad inside of here. And I think what happened, well actually I know it's what happened, I just finally found what it was. But it's been stinking for about the last week, and it started to get really bad. It started to smell like something died in here. And I mean literally like something died in this car. And it's just been terrible, and I've been pulling things apart everywhere trying to find it. Well, I finally found it. And if you remember when I was bringing Eleanore home from the car show, which is gonna be almost 2 weeks ago now, I got soaking wet. And I always take a spare shirt with me wherever I go because I have a tendency to sweat. But because I got rained on, I got drenched. So what did I do? Well, I threw the wet shirt in the car and it didn't land in the trunk. It went between the partition that's here and the passenger seat, and it got wadded in there. And I just pulled it out and oh my God, did it smell, and it was still wet. A week and a half later, it's still wet. And in Florida, oh boy, with the dampness and the warmth, it rotted. That shirt has rotted. I hope that I can clean it up. It's actually one of my favorite shirts, so I'll have to try soaking it in some vinegar. It's a black shirt, so it wouldn't have stained even if it did get mold on it. It should be fine. When I took that thing out of the car and I threw it over the fence in the backyard because I didn't want anywhere near the car, when I walked back to the car, I could still smell it. There was a wake in the air of just a trail of the stench from that shirt. My God, it was disgusting. And just sitting here in the car now, it smells a lot better than it did. This car was just, it was getting to the point that I didn't even know if I was going to be able to drive it. Well, anyways, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, pluck that little dingle belly down below so that way you get updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget, this is my Q&A video, which I try to do daily at about noon every day. I did skip one yesterday, and I took a day off. I just had way too much going on, and I just wanted a break from videos, but really didn't take a break anyway. I ended up uploading Wild Bill's bus fire video, and that's right, his bus actually caught fire in the engine compartment, and he managed to get it out before it got any more serious. But I mean, it was bad. It burned up all of his wires. It got one of his carburetors real bad, and he ended up with quite a mess. But anyway, that's over on the VV the Duck VV channel. I notice a lot of my regulars that are over here watching my videos and commenting have started to comment over there, and I thank you guys for that really, really much. Now, VV the Duck VV is more of my life channel, the things that I do in my life, and rescuing Bill that night, it's more of a lifestyle thing. So anyway, I dragged his bus home behind the Z here and saved the day, but you gotta go see the video and actually see what happened. You can see just how graphic the fire was, and I'll have another follow-up video on his bus very soon. So thanks for watching, you guys. Let's roll that intro. Well, we are back. We're going to have a little adventure into the woods back here because this is where the buses hide. And if you don't know already, I do have a 1967 split window panel bus that's back here also. So we're going to have a look at that, and this will be coming home sometime with me soon. I really need to get Eleanore up and out of the way, send her out to go get painted, and that's probably around the time that I'll start working on the bus. But you can look at the bus as Eleanore 2.0. I'm not going to customize it quite to the same extent, because it is a bus and it's in some lousy shape that people aren't really interested in fixing it. It is going to be customized somewhat. Well, she did a good job of clearing this all out. There's actually grass growing back here. And there's the bus. As I said, it's in some pretty bad shape. I've already pulled the engine out of it last year, brought it home. Actually, no, it was 2 years ago. Boomer was just a duckling then. And there it is. Wow, the rust in here has gotten a lot worse than it was. My God, it's been a little while since I've been back here. It has been a little while. This thing needs to come home soon. My word, it's got to come home soon. That hole is new. That was not like that. In fact, you can see some of the debris down below in there. The whole edge of the window here is all gone. And I knew that was bad, but it was never that bad. Holy shit. Okay. I need to get this thing out of here. Looks like the tires might still have air in them. That was what I was doing last year, was I was putting air in the tires, trying to get it to roll, so I could start dragging it home. And there it is. Yeah, a lot of problems around the roof area. A lot of holes that weren't there before. This is new stuff. There's probably birds' nests and stuff in here now too. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have some work to fix here. I've fixed worse things. You saw me put Eleanore back together from nothing, and that thing was under seawater. This was not. Somebody had already replaced the floor at some point with just some sheet metal, so I'm going to cut all that out and replace it with what's supposed to be in there. Doors look pretty good. That's a good thing. Some of the window hinges and things are busted though. Yeah, I need to fix all up around the top of the console up in there. And you can see the holes in the roof, around the gutters. Ping. Anyway, the side door actually does open, and the pins that go in the bottom down below are actually still there, as well as the slots that the pins go into on that side. I try to have a walk around there, but it looks like it might be a little grown up on that side. I might have to find a piece of wood to prop against that. Try to keep the moisture out of here. Anyway, I got that door to close. I'll have to walk around to get back inside the other side there, but there's a lot of pricker bushes and things growing up in between. I just might stay away from that. But it shouldn't be too hard to pull out of here this winter. So I'm going to consider that to be one of my goals this winter. Once the mosquitoes die down back here, and currently I'm covered in them. Should have brought some spray with me and did not. But that's my bus, and this is the first time I'm posting it up on YouTube. Looking in the back of this bus, which has been parted out some, wanted to get some of the dimensions of this rear hatch over here for the engine compartment. I got some plans to do something with one of those, and considering using this for parts. It looks like we got some rust holes in it. Nothing I can't fix, but the rim actually looks like it's in pretty decent shape. It needs a little help in a couple places, but again, it's nothing that I couldn't fix. I'll talk with Mary about that one. Some of the other buses that had them, they're in really, really bad condition. Now that one is a low light, and unfortunately this thing it's been crushed. I don't know what happened to it, but something just crushed the living piss out of it. So this thing is all misshapen, not likely to be saved just because it's crushed. You know, Eleanore was rotted to hell, but Eleanore wasn't crushed. If Eleanore was crushed as well as rotten, I probably wouldn't have taken her on. But this bus is in worse shape, far worse shape than Eleanore. And this one was also flooded by seawater at Hurricane Ivan, just like Eleanore. And it was left to sit for days in the water. I understand it only got about 3 feet up the body. It didn't get the full 6 feet like Eleanore got, so it wasn't completely submerged, but it didn't need to be completely submerged. The fact is, it was in seawater. I actually looked up the VIN number on it, and there's a lien on it from one of the local dealerships in here in town, a used car dealership that doesn't even exist anymore. Somebody still has a note on it. But Mary ended up buying it from some stripper or something real cheap after the storm. and it was gone. And I guess the stripper has to work on her own problems at her own credit, but it was never intended to go back on the road. It was intended for parts. But looking at things now, it's certainly not in as good a shape as it used to. This hatch used to actually open and close, but the hinge came through the roof. It busted. Still a lot of good parts on it, though. I mean, there's still a lot of panels that could be used to repair other things. But the rear hatch area inside of here that I was looking at, this one is, well, about half of it's gone. It's not even there. It's rusted away. So that's not going to be salvageable, not going to be usable. Not an option. And then this is a low light. The low light didn't have that hatch at all. I don't remember what year they started that. It might have been like 73. And I think this is a 68. Still has the 5-lug wheels on it too, which was the early low light bay window buses. Let's see if there's a hatch door or anything laying down inside of here. No, it doesn't look like it. Nope. A lot of good parts. I see she's pulled off of some things. And you can see over there the floor has completely fallen through the bottom of the bus. The bottom of the bus was way rusted out worse than anything on the top because, of course, this one was sitting in seawater. Ah. Yeah, look at that. I could have used a bus axle back when I put Eleanore together with the new axles that are in there, because there's a special CV joint washers that have the double holes in them. I needed a set of those, and it turned out that the CV joint kits, or I should say axle kits, actually came with them. So bonus for me. Now this bus is an automatic, and this one looks like she's parted it out too. The lid used to be on there, as well as the back. The back hatchback was still there too. It's gone now. I think she sold it off. Some stuff in the trunk I don't remember seeing, and yeah, look at that. There's the badge. It's a VW automatic. I think you'd get a good penny for that nowadays. It's automatic Volkswagen anything back in the day was rare. That hatch actually looks to be in okay shape. The door anyway. I think the actual lip that it sits in, can't really see from underneath. Yeah, it's got problems. The other one's probably in better shape. Okay. Some things to think about, that's for sure. So as far as question and answers are concerned, yes, I do have a bus. There's my 67 bus. People have been asking to see it for quite a while. When I get it home, of course, when Eleanor's out of the way, it'll be the next one that goes in the garage and gets serviced and rebuilt. And because a lot of this is a lot of somewhat flat shapes to it, I'm not doing any especially huge rebuild like Eleanore, where I didn't have to cut it to 1,000,000 pieces. This might have 1,000,000 little pieces I need to add to it, but I don't actually have to slice it up to make it happen. So it'll probably happen a whole lot faster. Not doing a roof chop on here. Not going to shorten it. Although admittedly, shortening it would be kind of cool. Why does it have numbers on it? Because the psychotic guy that used to own it, and I actually heard a little bit about him, he was kind of nuts. He was racing the thing. I don't know what he was racing with a bus. But yeah, he was trying to race the thing. Okay. There's the bus. We're going to go back home to the shop, and I'll see if I can answer some more of the Q&A questions that I've gotten this week from you guys. So thanks always for the questions, and we'll be back in a few. Oh, bloop.